Hey everybody, welcome to my show with no name. Today I'm going to have a look at R.L. Burnside. He was born in 1926 and he died in 2005. An American blues singer, songwriter, guitarist. He got no recognition until the punk and garage scenes in the 90s. In 96, he began touring with John Spencer, who had played guitar in Pussy Galore, Heavy Trash, and the John Spencer Blues Explosion. And this gave Burns crossover to a wider audience. Burns is from rural Mississippi. It's unclear what the initials RL mean. Could be rural. Robert Lee, Rule. People just called him RL. At 16, he played harmonica and guitar. He says he first played in public in 1946 when he was 20 years old. He learned from Mississippi Fred McDowell and others. He sang in church. That goes without saying. Also, no ads. Oh, thank you. Good going. I love that when there's no ads. Also, no need to say that he liked Muddy Waters, Lighton Hopkins, and John Lee Hooker. Yeah, we all like those. In the late 40s, not 90s, 40s, he moved to Chicago where his dad lived. He found work at metal and glass factories and enjoyed the blues scene with his cousin-in-law, Muddy Waters. Yeah. Tragedy struck. His father, two uncles, and two brothers were murdered within the course of 1 year. Chicago is tough. Burnside retreated back to Mississippi where he met Robert Lockwood Jr., the biological son of Robert Johnson, purportedly. There was more trouble. Burnside was incarcerated for murder, but it seems unlikely because he was put away for only 6 months. So either he killed a guy over a crapshoot and there were extenuating circumstances, or he didn't do it, but he knew who did. He spent the next 45 years doing sharecropping and music part-time. Sort of like why he was not really looked at again until the 90s. Just busy cropping them shares. I think I meant to say sharing them crops. But what do I know? I'm not a historian, much as I like to think I am sometimes. Oh, he would also sell fish that he'd caught door to door. I guess that's something that they do in Mississippi. He played bars and jukes at picnics and house parties. So it's kind of nice that you can go to a fishing hole and pull out a fish and know it's not like full of mercury. right? So he was recorded by George Mitchell, a grad student in 1967. RL was one of several musicians recorded on a 13-day summer trip to Ole Miss. Burnside's songs made it onto a compilation. Looks like we got some ads coming up, folks, and you sure don't want to see that.
This is the kind of
no, it's not.
Talking.
You bum.
With it, people with Medicare are getting.
We got to sell that for on my show. You've already got Medicare. Why do you need more? Where was I? Oh yeah, it was getting recorded. The songs made it to a compilation that Mitchell released in '69. And that same year, Burnside appeared in Montreal with Lightnin' Hopkins and John Lee Hooker. And he then made some tours of Europe, successful in '74. He played at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, the first of 9 times. Alan Lomax filmed him in 1978, and the footage appeared on a TV documentary, The Land Where the Blues Began. In '69, Burnside was recorded with his band, The Sound Machine, with his sons and son-in-law. They combined Chicago blues with funk, R&B, and soul. And the set covered Jimmy Rogers, Little Walter, Albert King, and Little Milton, and originals as well. In 1990, Burnside was featured in the documentary Deep Blues. In 1996, he released an Ass Pocket of Whiskey. Wow. It was critically praised for the most part. Living Blue magazine said it was perhaps the worst blues album ever made. That doesn't make sense, does it? By 1999, his health was in decline. He had a heart attack in 2001. His doctor told him to quit drinking. He did, but he said the change made it impossible to play. I get that, I guess. He died in 2005 at the age of 78. Here are his albums. 1, Sound Machine Groove in 81. 2, Plays and Sings the Mississippi Delta Blues in 81 also. 3, Hill Country Blues in 87. 4, Skinny Woman in 89. 5, Bad Luck City in 94. 6, Too Bad Jim in 94 as well. 7, A Ass Pocket of Whiskey in 96. 8, Mr. Wizard in 97. 9, Acoustic Stories in 97 also. And number 10, Come On In, 98. 11, Wishing I Was in Heaven, Sitting Down. I believe sitting down means sitting down with his guitar. And I hope that there are guitars in heaven. 12, A Bothered Mind. That went in 04. Tell you what, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about blues and rock music. Fact is, if there were no blues, there'd never have been rock. Rock is the blues. It's just they've cut out the turnover chord. So you've got rock in A, and then it goes up a fifth. If you want to make that a blues, you just go from A to D and add an E on there. And of course, a lot of blues is in seventh chords as well. But the Delta blues, I guess you could say, comes straight to us from Africa, filtered by a period of time in the southern United States that certainly made blues singers. They had a lot to sing about. It goes on today. Like they say, there's still systemic racism. And if there's no, good. Thank you. But in England, they kind of like revitalized the blues with the Rolling Stones and Fleetwood Mac, John Mayall. And this meant that they would bring blues players over to play for their audiences as well. Somehow this didn't happen with RL. Maybe he was a little bit lower down in the echelon. But I thought that, he should be mentioned because he's pretty good. Now, if you don't think so, go ahead and get yourself a slide guitar and put it on your pinky and tune your guitar to an open D and try to sing with as much soul as this guy. I don't think Caucasians can do that. They try, to their credit. But you see, you have to have the heart. And a lot of the musicians really are much too rich to have any heart anymore. And that's the way it goes. So this style of music will hopefully be around forever. People like me still listen to it. I mean, I do get a little tired of Stevie Ray Vaughan, that sort of stuff. But I never get tired of the Delta blues. Never. So I'm thankful for artists like RL who have kept it going and passed it along to younger people. Hopefully there will be more of those. Hint, hint.